Hey friends, this is the Mrs. Wolfie from our half-acre homestead with a tea break. First cup of tea of the day. Well, right now it's Sunday, June the 11th. And you're not going to get a video for a day or two only because today we are dispatching and cleaning and freezing chickens. And YouTube frowns on those violent kind of videos now, so there will be no video. But as soon as Howie dispatches them and plucks them, then they come in the house for me to eviscerate them. I went out into the garden because Howie whippersnipped today. And I pulled some weeds. I can't do weeds all the time anymore, but I thought I better get some weeds out of my garlic because I can't find my garlic. So I weeded my onions, my leeks, and my garlic to a certain degree. It's not pristine, but it's enough that I can tell the difference. So when I go back out, it's going to be easier. But I started to do a video on edible weeds. And I had a beautiful crop of lamb's quarter before I pulled it. So I did a little video on it, and I wasn't recording. It's hard to see when when you're recording with your phone and the sun is shining. And it's really difficult to see whether or not you're recording or not. So this happens to me a lot, right? So I had lamb's quarter, but it didn't get videoed, and so I scrapped that. Here is a couple of the other weeds that I got. These dandelion leaves are, and the roots and the flower, all are, especially in spring, all are a detoxifier. Now listen, see how smooth and round these edges are? These are the less bitter ones. The other ones, like, more sawtoothed, but also edible. Now that plant is an adult, but it's stinging nettle. And when they're really young, they don't actually sting you, folks. It's when you break the tiny hairs on the leaves, it releases a histamine. So wear gloves and eat them young and make sure you cook them first. We went and visited Arthur and Mel and the baby boy yesterday. It was a long day. It was a really long day. We got up at 6 in the morning. We were on the road by 7. We were in Kingston by, I think, 10. Mom and Karen came up from Port Hope to Kingston, and we went down from here to Kingston. And we met Mom and Karen at an exit Tim Hortons so that they could follow us to Mel and Arthur's house. And oh my God. You know how... I'm telling you, yes, I'm going to talk about my grandbaby for a minute there. Every time he looked at me, his eyes twinkled. Even from across the room when he was with someone else. Every time his eyes caught mine, he twinkled because he knows I'm Grammy in the phone, right? But he's got 2 teeth on the bottom. And he has been getting up on his hands and knees now and rocking. And we're really excited about that. But here's something else. Nan was on the couch. And Mel was here and Nan was here. And Bubba got up on his hands and knees. And he put his one knee forward and his other hand forward going towards Nan. And it was like, yay! He did his first crawl step, you know? I mean, every moment in a baby's development is exciting. Now, when you're a parent, yes, you know, a lot of parents celebrate all these moments too, but when I was a young parent, I was too busy. You know, I was loving them and changing their diapers and tickling them and stuff like that. But I was way too busy, you know, making sure the floors were clean enough to crawl on, to making sure that everybody got fed and the house was clean and all these things. So you miss a lot. Right? But I'm getting all these moments with my grandson and they're amazing. And he looks at me and I see a kindred spirit. It helps that we've got the same eyes. He's got his daddy's eyes, who has my eyes. You know what I mean? So, yeah, it was a wonderful visit. It was really nice to see Nan and Bubba together and Aunt Karen, and we had a lovely lunch. And he didn't have a nap, but for a baby who didn't have a nap before we got there, he was really, really in good spirits. And then Mommy took him for a walk around the block, and he fell asleep in the stroller, and she put him outside, and so he was there was no sun on him, and she left him in the stroller and locked it, and we're all watching out the window in case he wakes up. But I mean, my mother used to do that. She swore by putting you out to air 15 minutes at least 3 times a week, winter or summer. She put us out in the pram with the shade up under the roof on the veranda for 15 minutes of air. I did it with Briar. I put him in. I had a big carriage, a pram, and I put him in the shade by the chicken coop, put a bug net over it, and I went on and weeded the garden, you know. Anyway, I've probably gone on too long about my grandbaby. So I'm really tired today. I'm really tired today. I managed to get some weeding done. You know my little weeding bench? I don't necessarily sit on it. I do sit on it some, but you know what I use it for the most? Leaning on while I'm weeding. Because it has a nice flat surface, like you turn it up like a stool, but if I lean on it, it's slightly higher than the raised bed, and it gives me more support to lean on while I'm weeding. And then I have the 2 sides that I can push myself up from a bending position. So I really love that bench, not so much for sitting on, but for leaning and support. So anyway, I've got some, I was approached by Temu to do some product previews. And what I'm really enjoying about that is they did not ask me to preview what they wanted me to preview. They asked me to preview stuff I wanted to preview. So they gave me a credit to order a bunch of stuff. And you're going to see 4 dedicated product preview videos from Temu. You're not going to get them all at once. You are going to get probably 1 a week for the next 4 weeks. Okay, or 2 a week for the next, I'm going to do 4 of them. But I have to wait for the rest of the products to get here. I thought it had all arrived until I went through it, because they gave me extra stuff. They just threw in extra stuff that they thought I might like, which I actually wish they hadn't, because it's not stuff I would have ordered, right? So to me, it's a waste to give me things I wouldn't have ordered. But you are going to see the things that I did order. I ordered stuff for Gracie. I ordered stuff for the motorhome. I ordered stuff for outside. And I ordered stuff for the kitchen. So there's your 4 categories. All right, so that's coming up. But this is my first cup of tea of the day. And I've already been out weeding and stuff like that, and I've already made Howie some breakfast. So I'm going to edit this video, and please be patient over the next couple of days. I cannot film us dispatching and doing the chickens, because YouTube will probably say, oh no, that's cruelty to animals. You know what I mean? So I'll be doing a garden update sometime this week, okay? Because everything's coming up, and the weeds are more than what I've planted in stuff. So I'm going to have a lot of weeding to do, right? Like I'm going to do a couple of projects for Life with the Wolfies, but I may live stream while I'm doing them on our I may live stream on our half-acre homestead while I'm doing them. We'll see. All right, let me know what you think about that. All right, this is the Mrs. Wolfie from our half-acre homestead saying, I have work to do. Mwah! Take care. God bless.